Hey everybody, welcome to the Cancer full moon reading that's going to be happening on January 17th of 2022. Of course, Cancer is ruled by the moon, so a normal moon already impacts us because, like we always say, we're water, and the moon, the tides change, our inner world changes. So with the full moon happening, just imagine the amplification of whatever emotion that you're going to be feeling around the time is going to be feeling huge. So just keep that in mind as the full moon comes in, and focus on what you want to amplify. And if you're amplifying a dark shadow emotion and you want to feel it deep, but just know that if you want to switch it up, you do have the ability to switch your focus onto a different emotion to amplify that instead. So this is what we're going to look at first, just real quick on this intro. Just the full moon in general has a cycle, not only like about every month, 28, 29 days, the moon phases from the new moon to the full moon. It also goes through this huge 6-month-ish rotation from the new moon in the sign to the full moon in the sign. So the last new moon that happened in Cancer is actually back on July 9th of 2021. So if you go back and look at what was going on around that time for you, because that energy was about new beginnings in our private life, like forward movement in our connections with people or connections with places that we hold dear. So really relationships and that home feeling, and also could have been around your self-care, because this is all about your private inner world, the Cancer sign, the moon, nurturing type energy as well. So when you're looking back and seeing what was beginning then when we look into the full moon in Cancer, then you can look at what is leaving you, it's like this culmination. Whatever seeds you planted during the new moon have come to a harvest, and now you're harvesting it. Then you're like, okay, what am I wanting to remove based on my journey over the last 6 months? Because now you're going to be on the 6-month journey on your inner world from this full moon to the next new moon in Cancer this year. So this energy of the full moon in Cancer can bring these feelings as if things are being resolved, or you're receiving revelations of the emotionally hidden, because the moon energy does help us get into the subconscious, the unconscious, kind of step behind the veil. So you might also have these feelings as soon as those revelations come in, because it is bringing you this inner conclusion, this inner resolution. So you might feel like, okay, I get it, all is well, or you feel at least that it soon will be. So for this reading today, for each of the zodiac signs, we're going to be looking at what emotions are you ready to let go of? What emotional waters are you ready to travel on now that you've made this journey halfway? So we're going to go ahead and jump into your specific reading right now. All right, all my Taurians, this is your Cancer full moon reading, and we're going to start off by pulling a card here from these Ancestral Path Tarot, and just see what emotion that you're ready to let go of or transform. Just one more time here. All right, so for our Taurians, this one right there. And you have the Eight of Sacred Circles, which would be the Eight of Pentacles. And the Eight of Pentacles is really about mastery of something. Like if you were an apprentice and you've been working on something and you're ready to graduate, you're ready to go to the next level, you're ready to move from the assistant to the manager, it's about this progression in your outside world, whether that's a promotion in a job, or like I said, graduating or getting certification in education somehow, something along those lines, even going to the next level of a relationship. So this emotion that you're ready to let go of is the need to progress, the need to have that next level. You're just ready to be and enjoy this moment and let things go. We're also going to pull additional cards, of course, from these Naked Heart Tarot to see what else the Creator wants you to know about this emotion. And we're going to pull like 3 kind of stacks, or 3 cards at least, for the week before the full moon, the week after the full moon, and the second week after the full moon. So for our Taurians, for the week before, okay, they want these 2 right here, and then the week after, okay, the full moon, and then, okay, the second week after the full moon. There we go. They were ready to talk to you. All right, so you've got the Movement of Pentacles, which Sacred Circles would be the Pentacles in a regular deck. So interesting that Movement of Pentacles is also the Knight of Pentacles in a regular deck. And this is all about patience, which makes sense for what the message you got here about that everything has its season, everything takes time for it to grow. It's just about giving the moment the attention it needs. It's like planting a seed. You make sure it gets its water, you make sure it gets its nourishment and its sun, everything it needs to grow, but you can't force it to grow. So, all the other 3 suits, the Knights, are much more faster moving because it has to do with your mind, your emotions, and your ambition and your drive. But this is all about the outside world. The inner world moves fast, 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 fast. The outer world, 3 months for every season, and all the seasons happen on purpose for a purpose. You plant seeds during the spring and they're growing underneath, and then they sprout and get above the ground, and summer's when they just grow and grow and grow and grow, and fall or autumn is when you harvest and things start to fall from the trees, and winter time for all those things that fell from the trees or the fruit that's on the ground that wasn't used, it dissolves and becomes nourishment to the ground for spring. So it's great fertilizer and great things to happen. So this is all about, don't worry, everything happens in its perfect timing. Just have patience, let go of the need for it to happen, because it's like watching water boil. You're sitting there watching it on the stove and it feels like it takes forever. But if you just don't worry about it and you enjoy whatever's going on in the moment, then before you know it, boom, oh look, there's fruit on the tree ready for ripe. It's ripe and, ready for plucking. So that is that there. And then also with that, you have the Naked Heart. And this is a card that is specific to just this deck here. And I want to read that from the little book here, because I love how they mention it, how they describe the card. Because this is about connection and purpose and your higher self. Because this is the Tended Heart Warrior. And it says, I radiate at a pure vibrational level, calling in all that I need at this time to stay in alignment with my path. So what you need right now. The universe is highlighting your gifts and asking you to trust yourself and your intuition. As you listen to what your heart needs, your natural essence comes forth to be nurtured, and you innately connect with your calling and your purpose. Comparing yourself to others does not serve you and will only knock you out of your flow. You were given the exact proportion of amazing, otherwise you wouldn't exist. Your path may not always feel easy, but it will feel right. And when you shine bright, you are the spark to someone else's light, and you inspire others. And there's a little Luna moth up here at the top, in case you didn't see it there. There's a little moth up here. And the little moth whispers to you, it says, you are brave and beautiful. Fly out of the darkness and into your light. And the question that this card you can ask yourself is your ego leading your path instead of your heart? So this is great. So during this waiting period, as things are growing, you of course can look at. And one of the things that this Eight of Sacred Circles or Eight of Pentacles brings up is, while you're mastering and working and all this stuff, is this really what you want to do? Are you following a dream that's not yours, and you're ready to transform that? So while this is growing and you're waiting for the apple tree to grow, is it really orange trees that you want to have grow instead? And you can, during this time, just confirm, is what you're pushing so much for really what you want? And if not, it's a good time to look at what is your passion, what is you want to do. Which brings you to the full moon here. And then, so this will be the week after the full moon. And you've got the High Priestess. So the High Priestess, of course, is full of water energy. So she loves the Cancer full moon. This is all the, the moon symbols up here of the, the different phases of the moon. Also represents the different, it's like the crone, and there's like different levels of your spirituality in a way. But she goes behind the curtain, she goes behind the veil. And I actually was going to mention the High Priestess in the introduction, because she's so much about the full moon energy, and we, talking about going into the unknown. This is the card that does it. She's the one that is able to go behind this veil that's usually behind her in a regular standard tarot. She goes behind there, looks at her unconscious or subconscious, connects to the higher realms. And during this time, I really feel this is this reflection that you're doing, because maybe you have realized here that this isn't what I really want, or I'm not sure if that's what I want. It's just what I've been told, that I want that next level of job or education or relationship or whatever. But is it really? And so this is a great time frame. This questioning pops in, and this is the inquiry that you're doing, that really deep diving into your heart to understand what it is that you really, really want. And connecting, again, this was talking about your higher self. This also is about, the number 2. This whole energy of 2022 is about you times 2, and really digging into connecting to your higher self, to that higher being you really are. And are you really understanding how it is that you uniquely want to share your unconditional love with the world? Maybe this is what the world has told you you're supposed to do, and because this is going to make you money, and money is going to bring you success, and everything that you want, blah blah blah, and you're like, I don't know if that's right. And so during this waiting period, as you're doing this journey, I think you're going to find some truths, which brings you into the second week after the full moon. Boom, more moon energy. So yeah, definitely this is going to be I'm going to say an emotional time, but it doesn't need to be an emotional time like a boo-hoo-hoo emotional time. I really feel this is going to be an exciting time for you, because you're really getting to the heart of things, and you're really, a lot of revelations are coming to you. A lot. And I almost feel like this is a general reading, but like all those areas I mentioned, you might be having this revelation of like, this is not the education I want. I want to, go in this direction. This is not the job I want or position I want. I want something completely different. This isn't the type of relationship I want. This is. And you really, all these revelations are just like boom, boom, boom. Week 1, week 2, week 3. It's almost like each week there's just this excitement as you discover your passions, what you really want. And it's like this, all this beautiful emotional energy that's coming in with it being Cancer, first of all, and then it being a full moon, second of all, is just like this huge explosion of emotion that it's like what you were fearing before. Because you are realizing it's not who you are, you're realizing this authenticity inside of you, where you're like, no, that's not what I want, and I'm not afraid anymore to ask for what I want and go for what I want. So I love that. And then lastly, it makes sense. You've got the Spirit of Wands, Wands is your drive, your ambition, your aha inspiration, and your spiritual energy. Normally, the king, or the spirit of Wands would be the king of Wands in other decks. This is the highest spiritual level that you can get to and connect with, which would be your higher self. So there's this huge message here about connecting to the spiritual realm. The veil is going to be very thin during this Cancer full moon. So it is the opportune time for you to look into the spiritual world, dive deep into who you really are, that powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit being made of unconditional love. So this is going to be a very revealing 3-week period for you in a very, very amazing and freeing way. So I love this for you. And I don't have anything else to add. So I'm going to leave the reading there. I do want to let you know, in addition to these readings, I also do monthly readings by each zodiac sign, weekly energy updates by each of the elements like fire signs, water signs, etc., and a variety of others. So if you don't want to miss out on any of those and get notified immediately when they become available, if you haven't done so already, just click the subscribe button down below, and that's going to make the notification bell pop up. And when you click on that, then you can have your setting to be notified immediately. Also, if you're enjoying these readings and want to help share the love, if you give this video a little thumbs up and click the like button, that just helps the mighty YouTube algorithm share the video with other people as well. So never any pressure to do so, but if you are so inclined, I definitely appreciate it. All right, all my Taurians, have an amazing 3-week full moon period, and I'm sure I'll be talking to you very soon. But until then, you take care.